Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of At the Office. I'm your host, Simone, and I'm here today with Anthony and Warren.
What's up?
How's it going, guys? How are we doing today?
Great. Good to be here.
Serve this up for Warren a couple times.
So we think.
I'm pretty excited, too.
We ready?
All right, let's get started. We've got a lot to talk about. So I'm going to first kick it off with, we are going into week 4. Zeke is holding out and still in Cabo. There's been a lot of drama between Zeke and the organization, along with comments by Jerry Jones. Warren, how's this all going to play out?
Well, let me start with this. Zeke is a guy that went to Ohio State. I'm a Michigan fan, as a lot of people know, but so I kind of have a love and hate for the guy. But Zeke, let's start with he's 24 years old. So Zeke's 24. He has 2 years left on his deal. He's holding out to get a better deal, get a better contract. The thing about with him holding out is I don't know if he has the leverage or not. We know Gurley got his deal last year, and Melvin Gordon he's holding out right now to get his deal. The leverage that I see that he has is, I mean, if you look at the top running backs in the league right now, you have to say he's probably the best running back in the league. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, you got Gurley, you got Melvin Gordon, you got
Kamara.
Yeah, Kamara. You got Kamara. You got you got a well-known name. So if you ask me, he's probably one of the top, or if not the top running back in the league. So that's to me his only leverage. The thing that's going against him is he has 2 years left on his deal. Most running backs, they hold out a year left on their deal. Like if you look at Le'Veon Bell, Le'Veon sat out last year a whole year, and I believe he had 1 year left on his deal.
Well, they were going to franchise tag him too.
Correct.
So he was sitting out for the franchise tag.
Correct. So if you look at the leverage, I feel like the leverage is in the Cowboys' favor. I get where Zeke's coming from, though. Zeke, like I said, he has 2 years left on his deal. Your lifeline as a running back, you don't have that much time to get paid. So you got to get it as soon as you can. So I see where Zeke is coming from, because if you look at the DeMarco Murray situation when he was with the Cowboys ran him into the ground. I mean, he absolutely ran him into the ground. When it was time for him to get a contract, you know what I mean, they absolutely bailed on him. The guy, I think the year before, they gave him like 300 carries. He had 300 carries and completely ran him into the ground. He wasn't the same player he was anymore. I believe he ended up leaving the Cowboys and ended up in Tennessee. It was pretty much the end of his career. But like I said before, Zeke's 24. He's in the prime of his career. And with the lifeline of running backs, he got to get paid. So, I mean, I would hold out if I was him. I mean, 2 years left in your contract. I mean, you're still, under your rookie contract?
Yep.
I would do about the same if I was Zeke, to be honest.
So I agree with you to the fact that he should hold out, but he does have the leverage in this situation.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because that man is the driving force behind that Cowboys offense.
Okay.
Hands down. The defensive coordinators do not game plan for anybody else on that offense for the most part. Mm-hmm. They may now, because now they have Amari, and Dak has picked up his game in some points because of Amari. But before Amari came, there was no defensive coordinator that was looking out for Dak.
Right.
A lot of the game planning was around Zeke.
Right.
Why? Because he is hands down one of the best running backs in the league.
Without question.
He does have the advantage in his favor. Think about this. Now I know Tony Pollard has been doing his thing during preseason, but it is preseason, right? Very vanilla. We've seen a couple good series from Tony Pollard, but he's not Zeke.
Right.
You're not going to get. I'm going to tell you right now, Dak is not going to get you to the Super Bowl.
But I mean, Dak with Amari Cooper, because I mean, you got to look at, because when Dak had Zeke, he was struggling. As soon as they brought Amari Cooper into the equation, I mean, you have to say Dak's game improved. Like, Dak started playing. He looked more like an NFL quarterback to me. And, I mean, I've been on the record off the show of not being a fan of Dak. I've watched Dak in college. I've watched Dak in the pros. And I haven't been impressed with Dak. But I will say, when they got Amari Cooper, the guys get his style of play, it improved. The guy did better. Another thing, I know you said you agree with, you don't think that Zeke has the leverage, correct?
Yeah, but before Amari even got there, Zeke was a leading receiver on the team. That was the number one person that Dak was passing to. But now, has Dak's game elevated since Amari? Yeah, because he has a legit wide receiver one now.
Right.
But when you look at it, really, Dak's play action passing, I was looking at a couple stats the other day, is 30% better with Zeke on the field.
But let's look at this though. How much can we credit that to the offensive line though? I mean, because Zeke, we know.
Look at the game. Look at the preseason game that they just had. When Zeke is there, Zeke is an all around running back because he's playing more than just running and carrying the ball. Right. He's also, when he's there to go ahead and do play action or block and keep Dak protected, he's doing that.
Right.
That, to a fault on Zeke's part is he is a natural football player, but he loves contact.
Right.
So he's there. But look at what happened when Tony Pollard went to go ahead and block. I think he missed the block, and Dak got laid out.
Right. Well, I mean, coming to those little details of the game, I agree with you. Zeke is better, but I mean, we know the Cowboys have one of the best offensive lines in the league. So I mean, Jerry Jones knows what he's doing. He knows what he has up front. He knows he has that offensive line. So I think a deal will get done. I mean, if you had to ask me clear cut, is a deal going to get done? Yes, I do believe a deal will get done just because, like you said, he is the cowbell to that offense. But we can't overlook that O-line, dude. We can't, because the O-line, I'm telling you, man, you put anybody behind that O-line, they're running for 1,000 yards. Easy.
So let's not forget what happened after they won the Super Bowl over what?
Well, with Emmett and Troy and
so
Michael?
you had a great offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a Hall of Fame quarterback. You have a Hall of Fame wide receiver, and you had a Hall of Fame running back, Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith wasn't getting his money.
Right.
Emmitt Smith held out.
Right.
Did they go 2-0 with an all-star, with a Hall of Fame quarterback and a Hall of Fame receiver?
They started off the season 0-2. Correct.
0-2.
Correct.
So you really think that Dak and Amari, now granted the first two games of the season are going to be easier on the schedule.
Right.
But do you really think that without Zeke on that team that they're going to make it to Miami to go to the Super Bowl? No, they're not. I'm answering for you right now. No, they're not.
I agree.
There's no way.
I agree. I agree completely.
And that's why Zeke has the advantage.
I mean, I can see both sides. Like I said, I think Jerry Jones knows what he's doing. I think he will get a deal done. But I mean, he knows what he got, man. They got that O-line, and that O-line is no joke.
No, it's not. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah,
but but you got to have somebody that can work with that O-line.
Yep, and Zeke. I mean, Zeke is the man. I mean, Zeke is as advertised. If you ask me, does he deserve the money? 100% he deserves the money. I hope he gets his money. I mean, I hope all players get their money, especially at the running back position. I mean, like I said, if you look at the lifeline of a running back, I mean, they probably get one big contract.
Get that man his money. Get the bag, Jerry. Get that man his money.
Exactly. Get him paid.
Last year, when Zeke touched the ball over 23 times in one game, they won every single game besides one. Who are you paying first, Warren? Are you paying Dak first? Are you paying Amari first? Or are you paying Zeke first?
If you ask me, I'm not paying Dak anything. I will pay Zeke first, Amari second, and then Dak if I had to pay Dak. Because, I mean, the money Dak's asking for, what, 30, 40 million a year? I mean, that's
so the report was that they offered him $30 million a year.
That's absurd. That's absurd.
On the flip side, we don't know what was involved in that deal. The only thing we know it's high level is that it was $30 million a year, and he turned it down.
Look, all I'm looking at is that 3 and a 0. Is he worth $30 million? I mean, are you ready to say that Dak's worth $30 million?
No, not at all.
Right. I mean,
we both agreed on this topic, and we haven't talked about it on the podcast because
right.
This is the second episode.
Right.
But outside of the podcast, we both agreed that Dak is an average quarterback.
100%.
He's average at best.
100.
He wants to be right underneath Russell Wilson.
I believe so.
You're not. That's not. No.
No.
There was just. I think it was Pro Football Talk just went ahead and said the top 10 biggest flukes in the last 20-something years, and Dak was number 10.
I agree with it though. I agree because I mean, he's asking for. I mean, Carson Wentz money. I mean, Carson Wentz is his own situation. I mean, Carson Wentz got hurt and Foles stepped in. We really don't know what Philly's getting Carson Wentz.
Carson, no.
You know, so I mean, we'll see this year what Carson's bringing to the table and if he's worth his contract.
Catch and go Carson. No.
I mean, to be honest, if you really look at Carson Wentz though, like he was Mahomes before Mahomes. Like he had that year when he blew out his knee diving into the end zone. He was killing it. Like, dude was throwing touchdowns week after week. Like,
yeah, and he was to so many different receivers. Yeah. It was ridiculous.
It was,
but that's not Dak.
Nope.
Now, granted, Dak has been to the playoffs.
Yep.
But has he? What's the deepest he's ever been in the playoffs?
I believe he has like one playoff win. I think they beat last year. They beat Seattle, I believe. I think it was Seattle. I'm not too sure. But I think he only has like one playoff win. I know he's never been to the NFC Championship game. I know that much.
No, not at all.
So, I don't know. To me, the money he's asking for is Super Bowl winning quarterback money. And, I mean, come on. I mean, Carson Wentz hasn't won a Super Bowl, but, I mean, Philly was trending towards a Super Bowl.
But I feel with Philly that they're also trying to double down.
Why you feel that way?
Well, because they went ahead and they drafted him so high. And they gotta go ahead for Philly to go ahead and really cover their bet.
Well, but at least we've seen something. Like, you look at Wentz, you're like, all right, the guy looks like a quarterback, you know? And, like, you look at his receiving core. I mean, he had Alshon Jeffrey. He had
Aguilar.
He has Ertz. At the running back position, they had a stable. They didn't have a cowbell. You didn't have Zeke. You know what I mean? So, but when you watch the film, you watch this guy, he looks like a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, Wentz checks all the boxes. You're like, the guy could throw. He got field vision. He could command the offense. He's a leader. Checks all the boxes. You look at Dak. Dak. I can't say all that for Dak. So, like I said, Philadelphia was trending towards going to the Super Bowl when he got hurt. Whether they would have got there or not with him at the helm, we don't know. I mean, they got there with Foles, which is his backup. But like I said, the money that Dak's asking for, $30 to $40 million, that's Super Bowl winning quarterback money. And I mean, he deserves it if you win a title in Dallas. You know, arguably the biggest organization in all of sports. He would deserve it. But I don't see Dak ever getting to a Super Bowl in his whole career, in my opinion.
The team that the Cowboys have right now is that they can make it to the Super Bowl. I think with this team this year, they have a better chance than they have recently.
You think Dak is good enough to go to the Super Bowl?
But to play devil's advocate, look at what Dak was doing after he got Amari.
Oh my God!
They turned it around.
Come on, man. So let's take a look at it. Do you think the Cowboys? Let's fast forward to them NFC Championship game. Let's say against New Orleans. You think the Cowboys can beat New Orleans?
That's gonna be tough. But can they get? Do I at least believe that the Cowboys can go ahead and get to that title game? Yeah.
So you think they can get to the NFC Championship game?
I believe if everything goes right for them, yeah.
Okay.
They have a legit shot. I'm not saying that I'm backing them 100%, but do they have a better chance than some other teams? Absolutely.
I can live with that. Them get to the NFC Championship game, I can live with it.
But you have to have Zeke in order to do that.
100%. They have to have Zeke.
Pollard's not getting you there.
Nope, he's not. And Dak is not getting you there. Period. I mean,
you just disrespecting the man all around. You can't even say his name right.
Hey, I'm just calling it how it is, man.
But Jerry Jones recently said something too about he has went ahead and finally came to realize, and he said this to the media, I don't have many more of these left. And he was talking about training camps.
Mm-hmm. Which is true.
Zeke, you got that leverage. Because Jerry, if Zeke holds out for 2 years, how many more of these you really got left, Jerry?
Right. I mean, I don't know if he could hold out for 2 years, though. I really don't know if he could do it.
Why not? I mean, I understand with his personality and the way that he is as an athlete and as a person, he loves the game of football.
Right.
But are you going to, am I, as a running back, going to let you run me into the ground? Are you going to do what you did to DeMarco Murray to me? Absolutely not.
See, and that's what I think Zeke is doing. I think he's prolonging his career because, I mean, him asking for his money 2 years out of his contract expiring, it's something that we never seen before.
But he's outperformed his contract.
He most definitely has. So, I mean, does he deserve the money? Yes, he does. But 2 years out, I mean, that's a bold move. Look
at the bigger picture though, because you still have 2 more years on this contract and 2 to 3 years on a franchise tag.
I agree.
And you're gonna get shafted on that franchise tag.
Yep.
They're gonna try to squeeze everything they can out of you. And then they're going to thank you for your services. Have a good day. You get in trouble in Dallas, call Jerry.
Right.
That's about it.
I agree.
No, Rocky is not going to let Zeke go out like that.
I hope the man gets his money. I want to see him get paid. I mean, the NFL's better with Zeke on the field. I think we both can agree on that. I want him on the field, I mean, to be honest, for fantasy purposes as well. So, I mean, it's somebody I can possibly draft.
No, I don't. Dude on our fantasy already has him as a keeper, so I'm not. Hold out, Zeke. Get paid $1, $10 more than Gurley. Because, and what's interesting to me is that Jerry went ahead and said that they're trying to reset the market, right? Mm-hmm. Because LA went ahead and grossly overpaid Todd Gurley.
Overpaid?
He got overpaid. For what has happened.
On what? What are you basing that off of?
Based upon last year.
I mean, that's 1 year, but I mean.
But he has arthritic knees?
I mean, what? They kind of like, what are they, towards the end of the season, they kind of like cut his snaps, right?
Yeah.
But up until that point, I mean, you could say he was probably the best running back the past 2 years.
I wouldn't say Gurley was the best running back.
Okay.
Under McVay, he's improved.
Who would you have said was a better running back, better than Gurley the past 2 years? I mean, the only other person that you could say it's close is
Kamara.
Le'Veon.
No, Le'Veon didn't play last year.
Well, I mean, the year before he tore it up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Le'Veon.
Yeah,
if we're going 2 years ago, Le'Veon.
But I mean, I think Gurley was up for NFL MVP a year ago. The year they.
Well, yeah, but that's also the first year McVay took over. Look at the year prior. Look at not last season, not the season before McVay got there. Look when Jeff Fisher was there.
I mean, but you could also say that about Goff though. Goff struggled under Fisher as well. I mean, his game.
And you still say Goff is.
He's trash.
Look, man, give my man a chance, okay? He's been to the Super Bowl.
Look.
How many years has he been in the league?
I think Goff has been in the league because he's doing on a contract, and he's still playing off his rookie contract. So about 3 years? 3 to 4 years, I believe.
3 to 4 years?
Yeah.
3 years. 3 years into the league. The man's in his early 20s has already been to the Super Bowl.
I gave Goff a chance. I mean, I'm a 49er fan. We had Alex Smith. That was horrible. When Goff came out of Cal, I was all for Goff. I wanted the Niners to draft him. Felt like he was going to be the real deal. And I felt like last year he was solid until they got to the playoffs. Once he got to the playoffs, he was a deer in headlights.
Yeah, but you got to understand that's his second time to the big show. The year before, my Falcons went ahead and put him out. Right. I went to the game. I did a turnaround trip from here to LA to watch the game.
But that was a good game though. It wasn't like the Atlanta went in there and did their thing. Like it was a good game.
They got the W. At the end of the day, they got the W.
Look, Goff is what he is. Without McVay, he's fool's gold. That's what he is. He's fool's gold.
Wouldn't Todd Gurley be in the same predicament?
Nah, you could see the talent with Gurley.
Look at the last year that Fisher was there.
Let me ask you something. if you put Todd Gurley behind the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, would he not look the part?
If you put Alvin Kamara, if you put Devontae Freeman,
okay,
is he not going to look the part?
Yeah, but if you put Tevin Coleman behind the Cowboys offensive line and Todd Gurley, you're telling me Tevin Coleman's going to look as equal as Todd Gurley?
You're talking about a totally different play style.
But this is the echelon of running backs we're talking about. We're talking about the top running backs. I mean, Kamara is a top back. Gurley, Zeke, Le'Veon. Like,
but that's what we're talking about, though. Is we're talking about top backs. You're talking about Tevin Coleman's a top back?
No, I'm saying because you said, who did you say? You said if you put Kamara behind the Cowboys line, would he look as good as Gurley? Of course, because he's an elite running back. But if you go a step down to Tevin Coleman, which is not an elite running back, would he look the same as these guys that are elite behind that offensive line?
But if you put Tevin Coleman in any other team against the Todd Gurley, if you put Tevin Coleman behind the Rams, is he going to look the same? There's no situation in the world where you're going to go ahead and have Tevin Coleman. As much as I like the dude, you're never going to have them ever look the same.
So we can agree that it wasn't how Gurley looks is not McVay.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
A lot of it has to do with that because of McVay's scheme. Dude, when Fisher was there his last year, Gurley was a bust.
He had a couple rough years. He had a rough year. But the talent was in him. It was there. He had the talent. I've been watching Todd Gurley for a long time now. I watched Todd Gurley when he was at Georgia, and if you looked at him when he was at Georgia, he's the same player he was there that he is now. He was a little bit more bulkier in Georgia than what he is now. He's slimmed down a lot, but
he's trying to be easier on them knees.
He's a lot more explosive now. Like he was explosive at Georgia, but now I look at Todd Gurley, I'm like, dude is legit. He's explosive. Like I said, if you would have said a year ago, it's clear cut. He's the best running back in the league. I mean, if you look at fantasy leagues across the world, across the nation, he was the first running back picked. I mean,
I picked him first. It was my league.
And I traded to you a couple times. So, I mean, that has to hold some type of water, some type of weight.
No, it does. But what I'm referencing now when it comes to Gurley is he going to be on a decline because it's come out with arthritic knees?
I don't think so. I think they got a plan for him. The plan for him is they're going to limit his snaps. They're not going to play him as much. But when you have a talent like Todd Gurley, there is no decline, man. He's just, I mean, and you have McVay, the wizard, like you think he is. He's the sky's the limit. The guy's going to keep killing it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Alrighty, let's move on to Antonio Brown. Giving the Raiders gave up 3rd and 5th pick for AB. Now with his issues with his feet and with his helmet, was he worth the trade? Anthony, what are your thoughts?
He was worth the trade. Absolutely. They gave a 4th round and I believe a 5th.
3rd and 5th.
3rd and 5th round?
Right.
Absolutely. Is he worth the trade? Yes, he is. His numbers, he has Hall of Fame numbers. Now, is he going to make Hall of Fame first round? I believe with all the antics, it's going to hurt. But is AB? If you're asking me, is AB worth a 3rd and 5th round trade just straight up with nothing else going on? Absolutely.
I think that's premature though. I mean, because we haven't seen him take the field, correct? So, I mean, he put up Hall of Fame numbers in the black and yellow in Pittsburgh. So in Pittsburgh, his time, yeah, he was Hall of Fame, deserved his money, deserved this, deserved that. I mean, now he's in Oakland. We haven't seen him in the field in Oakland yet. The guy, he got his contract. They paid the man, so they worked him a new deal when he got here to Oakland. And you're not practicing. I mean, come on, guy. Like your feet. Okay, I understand the feet.
No, the feet is stupid. The feet is stupid. You should know whoever the hell signed you up and let you walk into that cryo chamber like that. No.
I mean,
you can't. Have you been in a cryo chamber?
I've never been in one before, personally. No.
I'll take you to one. There's one that just opened up around the corner. My boy opened it up. We'll go. But you cannot have any type of moisture on your body. That's how like sensitive it is with these cryo chambers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So because you're getting sub below temperatures.
Right.
Like there was I forget who it was. They were talking about they had sweat. They had a little bit of sweat on their back. And it burnt it up.
Well, I mean, mistakes can happen. So that's why I kind of understand that. I mean, he's a pro athlete.
You're talking about a pro athlete.
I agree. He's a pro athlete. He should tread in the right direction. But
you should know what you're doing when you're going in the cryo chamber.
I agree. But I'll give you a pass for that. So, I mean, like, okay, you made a mistake. You got, what was it, frostbite on the bottom of his foot?
Yeah.
Okay, you're a receiver. You need your feet, obviously. I'll give you a pass for that. Get healthy, come back. All right, you're healthy. You're healthy enough to practice, and now you're going to complain about a helmet? Come on, guy. Like, we just paid you. You know what I mean? We gave up a third and a fifth, and you're going to come in, you're going to complain about a helmet? It's like, come on, man. Like, I know there's all this talk about diva receivers, but he's honestly being a diva. I mean, the guy is, like... to me, if I was a Raider fan, it would upset me. It's like, because the organization did everything. They did everything that they could for the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they gave him a pass on his foot. Now he's not practicing because of a helmet. Like, get on the field, man. Got to get on the field.
So the initial question was he worth the 3rd and 5th round pick?
I feel like it's premature. I think we can't answer that.
So knowing from what I've known over AB for multiple years now, initially, yes. He's worth, hands down, there's not any team in the league that wouldn't have given up a 3rd and a 5th round pick to go ahead and sign Antonio.
Okay, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. So, what would he have to do on the field performance-wise to validate the 3rd and 5th round pick?
Everything that he's done up until now.
So, I mean, let's say...
Pre-leaving the Steelers, right, he was worth it.
So what type of year does he have to have? I want to know how many touchdowns he has to have this year, and give me how many yards he has to have this year to make...
He's not going to have that type of year this year.
So all right, what's he going to have? Because this right here, I feel like this is how we're going to tell if the 3rd and 5th round was worth it. Like, don't give me this...
You can't base that on the first year, though.
Why not?
Because you're good. So this is the predicament that Antonio Brown's in now. And outside of the drama and all the nonsense that he's doing on his end, right? You're going from a future Hall of Fame quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. Mm-hmm. He's Hall of Fame, whether anybody likes it or not. I'm not a Roethlisberger fan, but the man is talented, and he is going to the Hall of Fame. But you're going to Derek Carr.
But you got Gruden. Gruden knows what he's doing. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been there. So
let's keep it honest about his Super Bowl.
I mean,
let's keep it honest about his Super Bowl.
He won it with Brad Johnson. So I mean, it's yet to be seen what he does with Carr. I mean, I wasn't impressed with Carr last year, but
I feel that he's not bought into Carr. I don't think that he is fully.
I agree with you to an extent. I can't comment on that until this season's over. But I see where you're going with that.
Look at everything from last season.
I agree.
The meltdown on the field those two had.
I agree.
Then he was talking about he wanted what's his name to come out.
Remember they went and got Nathan Peterman.
I was gonna say Peterman.
Yeah. And he was a disaster in Buffalo. Disaster.
And he still said he was interested in it. If you have your quarterback one, and you know who you want to go ahead and lead your offense, are you worried about someone that was a disaster on another team?
You got a point. But I think he's giving him another chance. I think he's giving him this year to show what he can do.
That's why they went and got AB.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, 100%.
But the downfall about Derek Carr is that look at what happened after Amari left Oakland. Because for a while, like when Del Rio was there, Amari, you could say was a stud, right? Then Gruden gets there, and his numbers decline.
Right.
And then he goes same season, goes to Dallas, plays with Dak, which I'm not saying Dak is a better quarterback than Carr, but if I'm taking the two, I'm going to take Dak. I'm going to go ahead and take Dak over Derek Carr.
Okay.
And he excels. So just based on the argument of taking Dak over Derek, Amari is a prime example.
I mean, because Dak got better because Amari got better when he went to Dallas. So that's what you're basing off? Who's a better quarterback?
No, I'm gonna go off QBR too. I'm gonna go off QBR. I'm gonna go off of playoff appearances.
I mean, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I mean, a couple years ago, Derek Carr tore up the league.
No, I agree with you. What have you done for me lately?
I mean, he struggled. Last year you can't say he had a bad year. I mean, he had probably an average year last year, but
he was throwing balls way off target.
I mean,
was it the Cardinals game that Marshawn ended up running out in the field and getting suspended for and everything else?
I believe so.
He was throwing balls way up. You had a receiver running post routes, and he was throwing the ball as if it was an out route.
It was a bad year for him, but you can see the talent in him, though. Like I said, man, like when you turn on the TV, you know what I mean? And I'm an alien from outer space, and I'm watching football, and I'm watching a quarterback. You know what I mean? You could tell, you could look at Carr and be like, all right, the guy's a quarterback. He knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like you could get like some type of basis from watching him compared to Dak. I'm an alien from outer space. I'm watching Dak, and I'm like, what's this guy doing? Like seriously, like you can't base quarterback play off of Dak and what Dak does. I mean, he's just
though Dak had better numbers than Carr last year.
I mean, I'd have to take a deeper dive into that. I mean, I gotta look at like what kind of routes he's throwing to, what kind of plays they're running. But
I think Dak did lead the league in yards. Passes over 14 yards or over a certain amount. He led the league in those attempts, in those completions. I'm not a fan of Dak, bro. I'm not a fan of Dak by any means. It may sound like it,
yeah.
But I would say I know my numbers.
It sounds like you might take him over Matt Ryan.
Don't do me like that, Warren. Don't do me like that, Warren. Look, the problem that the Raiders are going to have with AB now is that he hasn't stepped on the field until very recently for the first ever practice.
Right.
Right. He's going to go with the team to Winnipeg to go ahead and play, but there's not even any inclination that he is going to play.
Right. So
the rhythm, the timing, the bond, everything that a quarterback and a receiver should have, they're not building that right now.
They're not.
They're not building that right now.
And they need him on the field. They need him on the field.
But what's even more surprising is that with AB, I feel on the Raiders right now because he knows that Derek Carr's not going to talk crazy to him. Big Ben will talk crazy to him because Big Ben has notoriety.
Right.
Derek Carr doesn't.
Right.
AB has way more pull than Derek Carr does. So he knows, and that's why, and those were reasons why he wanted to leave Pittsburgh.
Right.
It's because he didn't like the coach.
His relationship with Ben,
because Ben would talk crazy to him and his money.
Right.
He went to a team where the quarterback is never even going to look at him sideways.
Well, I mean, we've never seen Carr with a diva, though. I mean, we might see a different side of Carr, and AB might bring that out of him.
Carr doesn't have it in him. Carr doesn't have it in him.
I can't really disagree with it because, like I said, I've never seen it.
But if you've never seen it before.
But you gotta look at the personalities that's in Oakland now. I mean, he's never had a coach like Gruden, and now you got a diva like AB. You know, so like he's going to be dealing with a lot now because Gruden's not the type of coach that's passive. Like you said, if you throw in a post and you throw the ball like it's an out route, Gruden's going to get on his head.
Well, and that's why they had the major meltdown last year.
Right.
I think for Carr this year, it's make or break for him.
Yep, 100%.
If he doesn't perform this year, he's out of it.
Yeah, Gruden's done with him.
But so that just shows me that Gruden's not all the way bought in.
Which I agree to an extent. That's why I said, to me, I'm taking the wait and see approach on this one because I want to see the type of year Carr has. Because if Carr goes out this year and he balls, they're going to keep him. Obviously, you know what I mean. That's going to be their franchise. But
AB's hurting that though.
Well, he has the pieces to ball. You know, like they just went out and drafted Jacobs from Alabama.
They just got AB Terrell too, right?
Yeah,
from the Chargers.
I believe so.
Yeah, they just went and picked him up.
Yeah, the receiver.
Yeah,
the receiver.
So I mean, you have some type of weapons, but for you not to go ahead and have the ability to have the type of caliber receiver that you do with Antonio Brown and not have that timing, not have that relationship. It hurts. It's going to hurt your overall gameplay.
They do need the timing. Well, I mean, they're not practicing together because, I mean, AB hasn't been there. So that's why, to me, you know, if I had to grade it up to this point, he hasn't been worth the third and fifth because, I mean, he hasn't been there.
No, you're right up until now.
So I have to wait to see what the guy does on the field for me to validate that he's been worth a third and a fifth. But up to this point, I can't say he's been worth the third and fifth. I can't.
Up until now, no.
Right.
But before all the nonsense,
talent wise, yes,
he's worth it.
Yeah, talent.
It's hands down. There's, like I said, there's not a team in the league that would have went ahead and passed up a third and fifth round to go.
Correct. Talent.
But that should have been telegraphed to any other team that said, okay, we'll take a third and around fifth to get this dude out of here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when he was being shopped, I mean, I heard rumors that he was worth a one. You know what I mean? Teams was willing to give him a one, and Pittsburgh wasn't going to part ways unless they were getting a one. You know, so I mean, when I initially seen the deal and seen that the Raiders gave up a third and fifth, I'm like, man, they got a deal. You know, because I mean, we all see the talent that AB has. The dude he's top 5 all time. If he stays on the same pace that he was in Pittsburgh, I mean, the guy's he's nasty. You know, he's one of the best.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's one of the best that we ever see do it. And given where he was drafted, where he came from, like he's special. He's special. So,
but there was also another dude that was really special that kind of fell through for him, and that was your boy.
Who?
T.O.
Okay.
he's going down the same path as T.O. Is he not? With all the drama, he may not be a locker room issue that we really know about, but he has pulled some nonsense in the locker room. Look at what he did. Look at what he did on Facebook Live.
Yeah, I agree. The Facebook Live thing is going to always be. It's going to follow him wherever he goes. I can see why you compare him to T.O. I can see that. I mean, T.O. had all his off the field issues, but you know, T.O. when he got on the field, he balled. You know what I mean? And wherever he went, if he was in Frisco, Philly, Dallas, wherever he went, the dude balled. So, and the same thing with AB. I'm pretty sure he's gonna ball. He's gonna ball in Oakland. I mean, the guy's he's too talented not to ball. You know what I mean? So I see where you're coming from with the comparisons. I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see what he does this year, to be honest, and to see how the Oakland Raiders progress. Because I mean, they put a lot into this team. I mean, they paid AB. You know, Gruden's contract is well known. I mean, what did he get? $100 million?
He's getting 10 for 10.
Yeah, for 10 years. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the Raiders are. I mean, they definitely put all the money into succeeding this year and in the future. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what they do.
Gruden to me is not living up to the Gruden we know before the Corona commercials.
It's too early to speak on Gruden.
It's not.
It's too early.
No.
I mean, they had a lot of things.
He is running a wild house right now.
I think he's trying to keep it under control, but I mean, Gruden's never dealt with a diva receiver. I mean, I think he had Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah, Keyshawn. Yeah,
but Keyshawn was not like AB.
No, he's not. Yeah. But and that's even something bigger. Is that he kicked? Didn't he kick Keyshawn out of a meeting? He kicked Keyshawn out of a meeting, and you're talking about someone that you should be able to have a little more leeway with than a diva like AB, especially because AB's pulling all of this. So you mentioned Hard Knocks earlier. When I watched the first episode, you noticed that on Hard Knocks, Gruden tells everybody, go ahead and come on in. Who's front and center? Derek Carr.
Like he should be.
Right. But where was AB?
He wasn't there, right?
He was in the very back with some unsigned rookies.
Being a diva.
Basically saying, I don't need to show up to this. Look at what on Hard Knocks. He went and did that early morning balloon ride, hot air balloon ride in Napa. He's a.
But look, this is why I'm saying, man. Up till this point, he's not been worth the third and fifth.
No, he's not. He was worth the third and fifth. He's not worth the $30 million.
I don't think he's worth either at this point. I mean, me as a Niner fan, I was like, let's get him. Let's go. Let's do everything we got to do to get this guy. I'm looking at the situation from afar, and I'm like, I'm glad we're not involved in this.
Yeah.
I'm
a lot of teams are.
Yeah. I know Pittsburgh's happy. So, I heard the number one city that's watching the Hard Knocks is Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I'm just glad we're not a part of it, to be honest.
We'll see.
Alrighty, let's jump on over to the Olympics. Being 1 year out from the Summer Olympics in Japan, should Team USA be concerned with all the dropouts? Warren, let's hear about it.
I think they should be very concerned, to be honest. I mean, we're a year from the Summer Olympics, and I know this year for the next couple of weeks I believe it's the FIFA World Cup going on. But I feel like we should be very concerned. I mean, when you look at world sports, you look at soccer, for instance. People love soccer. They love the World Cup. Every time there's big international world tournaments, all the big time stars from other countries come to play. But for some reason, when it comes to the United States, these guys don't want to play. They don't want to play in the Olympics, and I just don't know what it is. Like, you look at the biggest names in American basketball. You got LeBron James, Anthony Davis, James Harden, Steph Curry, whoever it may be. All dropouts. All don't want to be a part of it.
We even had Zion.
Yeah, even Zion. And, I mean, even Kyrie, like guys like that, even guys like Damian Lillard don't want to be a part of it. And, like, I don't know, to me, I feel like it's something special to wear USA across your chest, to be honest. And I feel like it's an opportunity to where you shouldn't pass up. I know some of these guys have represented the USA before on the world stage. But a lot of these guys haven't had that opportunity. So when you see the names of these guys dropping out, you're just like, what's going on here? Like, what are we doing as a country? And I don't want to make it sound like bigger than basketball, but you look at other countries, you look at Spain, you look at Argentina, you look at whoever it may be. Their stars, their players, they're all playing, whether it be the Olympics or the World Cup. So how come these American players ain't playing? Like we got to have our best players representing our country. Like, you look at the team that we're going to have rolling out there. I believe we only have one player that's on the roster that was on any of the first team All NBA teams, and that's Kemba Walker. I mean, you don't have Kawhi, none of the big names. Nobody's playing. So it's concerning to look at this team that we're rolling out to play. I believe. I don't know where the World Cup is at this year. I can't think on top of my head right now. But you look at the team that we're rolling out with this year. I don't know if we can win. To be honest, I don't know if we can win. I believe the USA team was called out from Serbia, and I'm not confident if I'm this USA team. Like, I believe earlier today, they took on Australia, and I watched the game. I watched some highlights from the game, and to be honest, USA struggled. I mean, they didn't really take control of the game until probably like the end of the third, probably somewhere in the third quarter. That's when they really took control of the game, and they blew the doors wide open. Like, they went up by 20. They were making everything in the gym. I mean, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kemba Walker, they start lighting it up from 3. They had a great day from 3, but it was an exhibition game. They played Australia. I think the only 2 players I know that's on Australia that play in the NBA will be Matthew Dellavedova and the guy that plays for the Spurs. I can't think of his name right now.
Patty Mills.
Patty Mills, yeah. So, I don't know. To me, I think it's a black eye for the country, to be honest. Like, we got to have our stars playing. We got to have our best players playing because, like I said, you look at soccer, we're inferior to every other country in soccer. You know, like, we have our best players and they'll play in the World Cup, and we couldn't even make the last World Cup, which is embarrassing for United States.
But our women ball did, though.
Yeah, but our women ball out, you know? The women, they do their thing. So, but every other country, like I said, they bring their best players. Us, we're not bringing our best to the table. So, like, if you ask me, this team that we're sending out here to this World Cup is our JV team. Like, this team right here couldn't beat, you know, if we sent all our stars, they couldn't even play with that team. So, I don't know. To me, going forward is concerning. I don't know what's going to happen next year with the Olympics. I get it, though. I get why players drop out. I mean, the NBA season's what? I mean, it starts in October, ends in June. You know, NBA has one of the shortest off seasons out of all sports. They got 4 months. So, I mean, I get it. NBA players are grinding all year. You got 4 months to spend with your family, have time off, work on your body, and recover. You know, take your mind off of basketball. But this world stuff and this USA stuff is once every 4 years. Yeah, you got the training camps. Yeah, you have the World Cup every now and then. But I feel like we got to bring our best to the table when we have these events. Or, like I said, this year, I honestly think we're not going to win it. I mean, maybe a top 3 finish. But looking at the talent on the roster, it's I don't know what's going to happen.
So, does the U.S. have anything to worry about? No. Absolutely not. We don't have anything to worry about, and I'm going to tell you why. So I'm going to go ahead and let you know that we're still projected to go ahead and finish first. We are still favored to win, right? I understand about the athletes pulling out, we need to represent, but there's also another tournament that happens before the Summer Olympics happen, which we can still slide in there and go ahead and win and be into the Olympics. So it's still possible, even if somehow even though we're the clear-cut favorites, we have Pop, right?
They got Kerr, too.
They got Kerr as the assistant coach.
Correct.
Those are going to be two iconic coaches,
correct,
right? They both have their accolades by themselves, right? So am I worried about Team USA? No. Also, just because of the fact that we have another tournament left in case things go bad.
I mean, you also gotta look at it from this. Last year they had Coach K. Coach K's been with the team, I believe, for the past 8 years.
Yeah.
So he won gold with the USA twice. So I mean, this is Pop's first time at the helm with Team USA. I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, at this point, you could be concerned or you could not be concerned. The only reason why I could say it's concerning is because all the guys that are dropping out, and like I said, I get it. You know what I mean? They don't have much time to recover.
Well, it's not even that. Let me tell you why they're dropping out.
Why they're dropping out?
Because it's wide open, baby.
What's wide open?
Wide open. The championship?
For next year?
For next year. You have it to the point that De'Aaron Fox went ahead and withdrew and said that he wanted to go ahead and focus on the Kings' upcoming season.
Yeah, but you can't say his reasoning is because they're competing.
It's wide
the Kings,
open.
What are the competing for?
Wide open.
It's wide open.
Think about it.
It's wide open for Anthony Davis,
yeah,
LeBron,
James Harden,
Kawhi, James Harden, but not De'Aaron Fox.
But Dame Lillard, it's still open. It's still open for him. There's a lot of players that withdrew because the balance of power is now equaled out. It's more wide open in the East, which is why I'm surprised that Kimba's there, and I'm surprised that Tatum is there.
Right, I
but see. They could be building that bond on the court that way as well.
True, the chemistry.
Yeah, but there's a lot of teams and a lot of the
Kyrie,
bigger
though.
names.
What about Kyrie? I mean, the door's not open for Brooklyn. He could play.
Why? Why not rest and recover? It's Kyrie.
I mean, look at DeAndre Drummond. What's he doing? You're telling me you can't go out there and play for your country? Blake Griffin, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like you guys ain't competing for titles. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the East is
like
wide
what are you
open.
doing?
It's more wide open than it has been in the previous
but
years.
not for Detroit. It's not open for Detroit. It's not open till Brooklyn till KD comes back. I'm gonna tell you this: the reason why these guys are dropping out, like, let's say LeBron came out today and was like, "I'm gonna play for Team USA." Do you think these guys would drop out? Like, to me, there's no leadership. You know what I mean? It's like all the guys that lead the league or like the big names in the league, they're not participating. You know what I mean? So I don't think you would have all the dropouts that you did if you have a LeBron or KD playing. Obviously, KD's hurt; he can't participate. But if LeBron opted in, like, I'm all in, let's push to be the best in the world. I think all these guys are going to play. You can't tell me AD's going to be like, nah, I'm not going to play. I mean, they're teammates in LA. LeBron's going to be like, bullshit. Excuse me. He's going to be like, let's play. You know what I mean? Like, let's get on this court.
But they have other things to do, and that's prepare for this season coming up.
That's
why risk any issues happening overseas when you're LeBron James and you're trying to go ahead and squeeze as many championships that you have left?
But let's be honest. Playing for your country is a part of your legacy.
No,
and
absolutely.
Once we look back at Jordan's career, we look back at Magic's career, and Kobe, and winning in the Olympics is a part of your accolades. Now, which bring me back to what we said, like, is it concerning or is it not concerning? The reason why I say it's not concerning is because this is the World Cup. It's not the Olympics. Next year's the Olympics, and if players drop out of the Olympics, then it's really concerning.
But I don't see. So you're right when it comes to legacy, but this isn't a part of your legacy. How many of these dudes, if you look at, let's say Damian Lillard did go ahead and play, or let's use AD. AD's a perfect example. Is anyone ever really going to remember that AD won?
Yes.
A FIBA.
Yes. No, I mean, well, not a World Cup. I agree. Not a World Cup.
And that's what I'm saying is that these guys don't have nothing. USA does not have anything to worry about because if we got talent that's still out there, these dudes still have talent.
But these guys, I mean, you got to look at it, man. Like, remember when Allen Iverson, who else was on the team? Carmelo Anthony, Tim Duncan, they rolled out in the Olympics and they lost. I believe they took
LeBron's.
third. Yeah, they took. Yeah, LeBron was on that team too.
No, LeBron's.
They took third place. Like, that was a black eye for the country, and still is a black eye for the country. You know what I mean? So this team that's rolling out there, I can't definitely say they're going to win it all.
No, I'm not going to say they're going to win it all. But I'm saying that in this tournament that they're in right now,
I mean, this tournament, I don't think they can win it all.
They're still a clear favorite.
We're going to see about that one. We're going to see because, like, there's NBA players on other teams. And like I said, other countries take this more seriously than we do, and they come to play.
Well, but that's because we've always dominated in basketball.
But we shouldn't take that lightly.
No, you're absolutely right.
When you got the foot on the throat, keep it on the throat. You know what I mean? When you show signs of weakness like we are doing, all these players dropping out, I mean.
So what does that say though? Let me play it as, what if we do win? Then what message does that send?
I mean, that's going to really like we're flexing. We're flexing because we're taking, like I said earlier, our JV team and we're beating the world's best. You know, so I mean, if we can accomplish that, then there's absolutely nothing to worry about. You know, but the way I'm looking at it, going into Japan, 2020 Summer Olympics.
But it's not. We need those.
We need. It's not. Hopefully, if we get commitments from the bigger guys playing, but
it will.
But who knows though? Who knows what happens during this NBA season? LeBron may get hurt. AD may get hurt.
But that's irrelevant though.
How? And they're not able to participate in the Summer Olympics. It's possible.
No, it's possible. But what? So, but even if we go ahead, even if they were to play right now in this tournament, right, for the World Cup, and let's say LeBron, I'm not even going to say LeBron because he's on the Lakers. Don't use my man as an injury.
Oh, God.
We'll talk about James Harden. If James Harden gets injured,
right.
It's irrelevant. It's a moot point because even if they win this World Cup, he's still going to be injured when he goes to the Olympics. So it's not going to matter. This is just a seat at the table at this point to go ahead and hurry up, and it's musical chairs. If you think about it, this is for other teams and other countries in our country to go ahead and get a seat first, and not have to worry about the second tournament to go ahead and make it into the Olympics.
Right, to get a spot in the big dance.
Now, if we don't win this one and we're down to the last tournament, do you believe that we're going to go ahead and a lot of these all-stars or athletes that we have in the NBA are going to go ahead and bypass a chance to go ahead and make sure we get in?
No, I believe if we lose this tournament, I believe it's going to light a fire under them. They're going to be
big names are going to come out.
They're going to be like, okay, we got to start. We got to play.
And that's why they withdrew this time. They withdrew this time because it's open. Everybody right now is scrambling to get their teams that are contenders ready for the playoffs.
We'll see, but what people underestimate is the world is getting better. That's what people don't understand. Like you look at Greek Freak. He's not American.
No, he's Greek. Yeah, he's playing. He's playing for Greece.
Greece. You know what I'm saying?
But it's always been like
people, not necessarily like.
Look at Dirk.
But when has
look at the Gasol brothers?
When has Dirk or the Gasol brothers ever been mentioned in the top 5 currently? Like Greek Freak, he was MVP of the league. I don't know if Dirk's ever won MVP of the league. I mean, I don't know. I'd
have to look on that.
And then you look at Greek Freak, it's like. You could argue it. People argue that he's the best player in the league today. When have you ever seen a foreign player the best player in the league today? And that should be alarming. You know what I mean? Because like I said, the world is getting better, bro. Like it's like we can't take this stuff lightly. You know what I mean? Like I said, when you keep your foot on the throat, keep your foot on the throat.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know what I mean?
And if this was the last tournament, I would understand, and there would be cause for concern.
Yeah.
But there's still 2 opportunities.
Yeah, I mean we'll see next year, and off topic a little bit. I think KD should plan to play in that next year. I mean, because he's going to be missed this whole year, and then
that depends on how he looks.
He should be healthy enough to go out there and that kick off his season. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
I don't think he should for career purposes, because what's going to happen? Because when he comes back, what's going to happen when he goes out there and let's say, and I hope this doesn't happen to this man, but what happens if what if it's another game against Toronto where he re-injures it?
I mean, I don't want to. I hope it doesn't happen because
stay away from it.
KD.
Get your career, because Team USA is going to care about the minutes that he's playing, but they're not going to care the same way as Brooklyn's going to care.
Correct. But another aspect of it is a lot of these guys are never going to win NBA championships ever. So look at Carmelo Anthony. He's never going to win an NBA title, but he had a chance to win a gold medal. You know what I mean? So at least competing it for those reasons. I agree with you. Once you get everybody out there that on the same page, they're all playing, there's nobody going to beat the USA. I mean, you're going to get a gold medal, you're going to win a championship. But like Dame Lillard, if I had to bet today, you're probably never going to win a title, bro, ever. You know what I mean? Like
Portland's too small of a market.
Like you look at Harden, Westbrook. I'm sorry, but you're probably never going to win a championship. You know what I mean? Like. In the NBA, that's the one sport it's hard to win a title. Like in the NFL, anybody can do it year in, year out. But NBA, it's tough. It's tough.
There's no cause for concern. We'll get to where we need to go. We'll get to where we need to go.
All right, moving on to the next topic. Earlier this summer, the Lakers signed Cousins to a 1-year deal. A few days ago, Boogie Cousins blew out his ACL working out in Las Vegas. There are rumors Dwight Howard and the Lakers are talking about a reunion. Anthony, can Dwight Howard and the Lakers have a happy reconciliation?
Leave that man alone. It didn't work the first time. It ain't going to work the second time. Leave that man alone. He has done nothing spectacular since he has left. In 5 years, he has been on 5 teams. Leave that man alone. He's nothing but pure dysfunction. It's not going to work. It didn't work the first time. He's proven on 5 different teams within 5 years it's not going to work. Leave him alone.
So who fills that void that Cousin leaves?
You have multiple people out there.
So I mean, JaVale McGee. I mean.
Well, you still have to have someone to help out JaVale. You still need another big man because but Anthony Davis doesn't want to play center.
Let me ask you this though. So who would you rather have filling that Cousins role? Dwight Howard that could get you anywhere at any given night, give you 15 to 20 boards a night. He's still capable of that. Or you're gonna take JaVale McGee. I mean, are you're telling me that you rather have McGee on the floor than Dwight Howard?
How many rings does McGee have?
I mean, assistant rings.
How many? Let me go ahead. Let me ask you this question: how many games has JaVale McGee played? JaVale McGee has played more in, I want to say, 1 season than Dwight Howard's played in 2 years.
So you're saying you'll take JaVale McGee
at this point right now? Yeah. I don't have the numbers in front of me to go ahead and support what JaVale McGee did last year, but Dwight Howard played 9 games last season.
I mean, Dwight Howard's been through a lot. I mean, like, he had the whole thing with the transgender and everything. So, I mean, he's been through a lot.
I wasn't even going to bring that up. But,
I mean, let's be honest.
But he's also been injured. But okay. What does that tell you about a player that can go, this will be his sixth team in about 5 years? Yeah. Memphis went ahead and said, talk to him. Memphis went ahead and said, talk to him. That is the equivalent to a dude asking you, hey, is that your girl? Talk to her, dog. Go ahead, talk to her, dog. Because y'all want to go on a date? Hey, so let me know you got home safe. That's the equivalent.
That's the side piece.
That's nothing that you don't see any future in.
I agree, but you never know what may revitalize somebody's career. I mean, I'm gonna give you an example. Look at Tyson Chandler. Like, before he got to Dallas, like his career, to be honest, was pretty much, it was fizzling. It was like towards the end, like he was done. When he went to Dallas, it revitalized his career. Like, Tyson Chandler, like, he was a part of a championship team. You know what I mean? And people seeing that, okay, Tyson Chandler's a piece. You know what I mean? He can still play. He can still defend. He can still rebound.
But he's not dysfunctional.
I mean, but Dwight Howard
is dysfunctional.
But like I said, him going back to L.A. may revitalize it. He might have his head on straight. Who knows?
I don't see it. He's not going to play the same as he was before. I don't think he's capable of getting 15 to 20 boards a night. That's not going to be him. He's not going to come off the bench.
Well, I mean, in your mind, he's going to have to come off the bench because you think JaVale McGee is better. So they're going to roll out with McGee, right?
Well, I'm just saying, either way, there's more opportunity, and JaVale McGee has definitely proven himself.
Yeah, but to be better than Dwight Howard,
Dwight Howard right now with the injuries,
I still would roll out with Dwight. I still would. I think he's better defensively. He's a bigger body.
He's not the same as he was.
Is he a shell of himself? Yes. Is he better than JaVale McGee? Yes. I mean, that's his. McGee is he's all energy.
He's a team player.
He's a utility type of guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Dwight Howard has talent, so he's just stand there and be more effective than JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee has to give you like tons of energy. You know what I mean? Like, you can just throw up lobs to Dwight. He'll catch a lob. LeBron will throw lobs. I mean, and then if you pair Dwight Howard and AD in the post, you might have something.
I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it'll work because of the type of player that Dwight Howard is. It's just the 5 teams in 5 years goes to show you, if you cannot make it with 5 teams in 5 years, teams are telling you to leave. They're shopping you around to get ready you. If you're really that much of an asset at this point in your career, you're not going to be on 5 different teams in 5 years.
Well, look at what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. Jamal.
Exactly. Exactly.
He's won 6 Man of the Year a couple times. I can't think of his name. I think he's in Phoenix right now. But he's played on half of the league and he's still effective. I mean, to me, yeah, you've been on a ton of teams. You're a shell of yourself, but I still will take him over JaVale.
I'm taking, and I'm not talking about just as a basketball player. I'm talking about what he brings to the team when it comes to JaVale. If we're going on stats alone and who's going to contribute to what, who's going to be more of a detriment to the team's morale and the functionality and the gelling of a team? I'm going to take JaVale McGee over Dwight Howard when it comes to a team, an overall team aspect.
Yeah, but you also got to look at under LeBron's leadership. LeBron is going to... He dictate a lot of the narrative in LA. So I think that he will control a lot of what Dwight Howard can bring negatively. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, he really never had that guidance under a team besides under Kobe. But, like, when he was with the Lakers, you really didn't hear any issues with Dwight.
Yeah, you did. Him and Kobe would go. Kobe would stay on him all the time. He hated Kobe because Kobe would call him out for being lazy.
Okay.
He would call him out for being lazy. But it's crazy because he said initially, because when we got him, right, the first time around, and when I say we, I'm a Lakers fan, but when we got him the first time around, everybody was hyped. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was even, had his buy-in.
Right.
Because of everything that this guy had the potential to be. But he was a crybaby. And for Kobe and even Abdul-Jabbar and some of the Laker greats to come out after the fact, after he left LA, and talk about him negatively, told you about the type of player he is.
He has the talent. He has the talent. I mean, for him, like you were saying, it was all mental. I feel like, you know what I mean. And I don't know, with his return back to LA, he be like a different player from what he was? I mean, I don't know. I mean, we gotta wait and see. But JaVale, I don't think JaVale's a better option, to be honest. In my opinion.
And what I'm basing, like I said, my opinion off of is when I'm taking JaVale McGee over Dwight Howard, right? Is the team aspect. JaVale's gonna bring more gel to the team. He's not gonna bring dysfunction. He's not gonna go. JaVale knows almost in a sense what his role is on that team. Dwight Howard, he may have some issues because look at what happened with Kobe's prime example. He thought that he could be lazy between transitions and be lazy on the court,
right?
And he couldn't.
Right.
Kobe, I understand, is not an easy person to go ahead and play with.
No.
If you're lazy.
No.
If you're half-assing it, Kobe's gonna get on you 11 times out of 10.
Yeah, Kobe.
But that's just the player.
Kobe was like MJ. He made you uncomfortable. You know what I mean? But I mean, his main approach was to get his teammates better. You know, so I mean, Kobe, he would rub you the wrong way. So I believe that him and Dwight Howard probably did bump heads, but. I mean, will JaVale McGee fit in more as like a team aspect? Possibly. He'll probably gel better, you know, just because guys that pretty much play off of emotion and energy, they typically gel better because they're role players, you know. Dwight Howard, you know, he has talent above a role player.
But that's going to be his position on this team. You're not going to be anything other than a role player, Dwight. You look at who you have on that team right now.
But he could show flashes, and if he shows flashes, that's what's going to make the Lakers elite. JaVale McGee can't do that. He can't give you the flashes that Dwight can of that brilliance, that superstardom. You know what I mean? So if you could somehow possibly get that out of Dwight, for the Lakers, it's a win-win situation.
But you're talking about possibly.
You got to take that chance. You got to.
What the Lakers should do is they should go ahead if they want to go with the Dwight. But from what I've heard on updates is that there was the Lakers and Dwight going ahead and talking back and forth. But what really came out is more of Dwight's camp has been contacting the Lakers more than the Lakers have been contacting Dwight.
Which is I could see that.
But you have so many other names out there. Who am I going to take over Dwight? I would take Joakim Noah over Dwight. And I would take Kenneth Faried over
Was
Dwight.
Noah even in the league last year?
Yeah.
I can't. I don't remember his name since Chicago, to be honest.
No,
so I mean,
he went to the Grizzlies too.
You would take Joakim Noah over Dwight Howard?
Yeah. Because Joakim Noah is going to bring it for you.
It's
less issues.
So
I'm basing all of this all upon issues and how this team is going to.
You'll take Gortat over Dwight Howard too?
I'm not saying that.
I mean, I'll take Gortat over your boy
Faried.
Yeah, not Faried. I'll take Faried, Gortat, Dwight Howard, all over Joakim.
You just got to make sure that Joakim, it's legal out here. So we got to make sure that he stays balanced and level. But no, I'm looking at it as a Lakers fan, as an all-around team dynamic. Dwight Howard has not been known to gel really well with other superstars. Name a superstar he's gelled with out of the 5 teams, because you got 5 different teams that he's been on in the last 5 years. Name one superstar he's gelled with.
So where did he start out at? He started out in Orlando, correct?
Mm-hmm. Orlando.
So Orlando, who do you have there? I think the only superstar or star he had there was what, Hito Turkoglu?
No, he had Jamal. He had
Jameer Nelson.
Jameer Nelson. He had Rashad Lewis.
Maybe.
But he's not even really. Orlando didn't really have. I mean, they had enough talent to get to the finals and get blown out by Kobe.
Yeah.
But after Orlando, he went to L.A.
And he played with Kobe.
And he played with Gasol. And Steve Nash.
Okay. And
these are all Hall of Famers.
And he moved on from L.A. where?
Didn't he go to Houston? He played with your boy.
Who? Harden?
Yeah.
But I don't remember him ever having any issues with any of them.
He didn't have issues that we knew about. If he was so good, why did he leave? Why did they send him off? And
I mean, just because, like I said, he was a shell of himself. Because now you're fantasizing. You're saying there's issues that we don't know about. Like I'm
asking you, because what other dynamic could there be? That a team wants to get, a team is going to trade you, or that you've been on 5 teams
when
in
your
5
abilities erode. That's generally when teams get rid of you. So, I mean, that's what I'm going to assume happened. I mean, because we both know Dwight Howard's not the same player he was in L.A. or he was in Orlando. So, I mean, those were his prime years.
But he had a very short-lived life in L.A.
He did, but, I mean, that's just because of yeah, he did. That's because he didn't fit in, I believe. He wasn't a good piece for the Lakers. Because that's what I believe. I mean, wasn't that before you guys had Andrew Bynum, or right around the time you had Andrew Bynum? And Andrew Bynum.
No, we got
right after.
It was right after.
So I just think he wasn't a piece that fit in. But I mean, the Lakers was on the down end of their run. You know, like once they got Dwight Howard, they were kind of still trying to stay relevant. You know, let's go get Steve Nash. You know, trying to.
Well, we only got Steve Nash because
you guys we
got shafted out of
Chris
CP3.
Paul.
Yeah,
you guys tried to keep that window open, and it just didn't work out. So I mean, the writing was on the wall for the Lakers at that point in time. Like you guys were on a downhill slide. So, and it just didn't fit. You know.
Well, what about the other 5 teams? He's also played with Bradley Beal and
John
Wall. Granted, it was a very short amount of games.
That's when that whole fiasco happened with him and
Yeah. I don't see it being a happy, healthy reunion when there's better picks out there. You have better picks out there that aren't going to be as detrimental to your organization than you do Dwight Howard.
I could agree, but to get where the Lakers want to get and win a championship,
they're not getting there with Dwight.
They're
not getting there with Dwight. Dwight is not the missing piece.
I'm taking my chances with Dwight.
No.
Then Joakim Noah.
No. Dwight is not the piece.
I'm going.
You better go get Kenneth Faried.
I'll take that too. I'll take
Faried is the beast.
I'll take that too.
But contracts are a totally different story.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see it working the second time with Dwight.
Alrighty, so Royce White has recently made comments about Melo being blackballed and LeBron James letting his buddy hang out in the wings while the Lakers went and signed Jared Dudley. Warren, is LeBron really in the wrong for not trying to sign Melo?
In my opinion, LeBron's wrong. And I'm gonna tell you why. LeBron is wrong because if you look at the history between LeBron and Carmelo, LeBron was in high school, and I believe Carmelo was in high school when I was in high school, and their names have always been tied together. They both got drafted around the same time. It was very well known that they were good friends, and this was before the whole banana boat situation. The banana boat situation didn't happen until they were all in the league and well established in the league. But it's always put to the public that Carmelo and LeBron, they're brothers, they're best friends. When LeBron joined the Big Three in Miami, you always thought that Big Three would include Carmelo. And because they were so much of friends, they were best friends. You know what I mean? Like, you thought that Carmelo would team up with LeBron and they would play somewhere. I mean, I don't know if it was the same way for you. That was always been my thinking. I've always thought that at some point in time in their careers, LeBron and Carmelo would share the same court just because of their relationship. Now, as time progressed, LeBron won championships, been in the limelight, have an extremely successful career. And Carmelo was on the other spectrum of it. And, his career started out, it was an amazing career. He was one of the best scorers in the league. But he wasn't on the championship teams that LeBron was on. So, I think now LeBron's in a situation in LA where he could speak up for Carmelo. Carmelo's in a situation now where he's not in the league, and there's kind of a bad light around Carmelo, because when he left OKC and when he left Houston, like, his talent has greatly diminished. Do I feel like he's good enough to play in the NBA? Yes, without question. He's good enough to be on a bench, on a roster, without question. Do I feel like he's being blackballed? I feel like he is. I feel like he is being blackballed because he has the talent to still play. Now, LeBron, if you say that's your boy as much as you say it is, why not make him a Laker? Why not? Why not, put in a word for Carmelo? I mean, if you ask me, there's no reason why he's not with the Lakers. He's not with LeBron. I mean, I feel like those two careers have been intertwined. It's like they're destined to play with each other. And, that's your banana boat brother. And, it's well documented. You know what I mean? So how are you not vouching for your brother to be on the roster when he's in disarray? I mean, he was on TV the other day talking about he feel like he can still play. And, he's still out there grinding and he's working out and he's just waiting for that call. And LeBron can't do that for him? I mean, come on, man. I just feel like LeBron's more worried about doing the next Space Jam than he is helping out his brother.
So I'm glad you bring up a couple points that I'll address first off. It's not LeBron's responsibility to go ahead and bring his boy over to the Lakers, right? That's not. He may try, but at the end, is he wrong for not bringing him onto the Lakers? I don't think he is, right? And there's a couple reasons why he's not. First off, I really don't think LeBron has the power that people think that he has anymore. Did he get the coach he wanted?
He wanted Lou?
He wanted Lou. Didn't get Lou.
Well, I mean, he got Lou, but it just couldn't work out the deal, the contract. I mean, Lou.
So he didn't get Lou.
I mean, come on.
If it was Cleveland, would he have got Lou?
And come on.
Let's be serious now.
And
let's be serious.
Come on.
Okay, I'll give you Lou, right? Lou didn't work out. Lou didn't work out.
You can't even say that because Lou wasn't happy because he got 3 years instead of 4 or 5. Come on, dude. Like,
but if Lou,
he had the guy signed.
But look at LeBron when Blatt was the coach. Did he not get Blatt fired?
Yeah.
Yeah. So LeBron had the pull in Cleveland. That's what I'm saying. And then he brought in Ty Lue. Right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if he had anything to do with that, but okay, we'll say yeah.
But he overall he had and David Blatt has accolades to him.
And not in the United States.
Not in the United States.
Yeah.
But still, we go back to the Team USA conversation. He has accolades in the world around in the world spectrum.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So he's not a bum coach, right?
Right.
So in order for LeBron has that power, because look at what he's done in the past. Look at what he's done to get other players to go ahead. Look at what he did last year to get Tyson Chandler on the squad. So he went ahead and called it a favor because he has that pull and got him from the Suns to the Lakers.
And so you don't think he has that pull to get Carmelo?
I don't think he does.
But
because he's been told no. So we'll just chalk up Ty Lue. That'll be one of my talking points. He was told no twice on his head coach. Yeah, does LeBron have the head coach that he wanted? Does LeBron have his first choice?
Yeah, it's a technicality that happened on Lue's part. Like, look, LeBron brought the horse to the water. You know what I mean? And the horse didn't drink. But LeBron couldn't help that horse walk in a couple extra feet into the water. Come on, LeBron's not going to speak for the guy and his money and his finances and his family. I mean, come on.
But if you're an all-star like LeBron and you really have the same power that you did in Miami, in Cleveland, you're able to go ahead and say, "Hey, Jenny, it's an extra year. Get the man just one more year. He'll be here as long as I'm here." I can't speak on it
because I don't know what the details was. You know what I mean? But I mean, do I believe that happened? I believe he did. Probably he was talking to Magic like, "Look, just give him this," and there was probably something that stopped it. I can't tell you what it is or what it wasn't, but I mean, LeBron has his hand. You're telling me Magic didn't come to LeBron and be like, "Look, we're going to give you the power to do this, and that." You don't think they hand the keys to this man? I mean,
but Magic's gone now.
He is, but I mean, LeBron. You think LeBron's going to play second fiddle to Rob Pelinka? Come on, Rob Pelinka. You think LeBron is going to be like, "All right, I'm going to take a back seat to this guy"?
I don't think LeBron has a choice.
He don't have a choice.
How when Jenny is going to go ahead and she's been listening to Rob. He didn't even get his second choice for head coach.
Wasn't it Jason Kidd?
Yeah, and he's only the assistant.
Yeah, but he got him on the staff.
But he got told no twice. Jenny,
I
want Ty Lue. Give me Ty Lue. Let's get this on the record. No, LeBron.
Let's get this on the record. You're sitting here telling me that Rob Pelinka has more pull in the Lakers organization than LeBron James.
Who got pulled in? It's not even Rob Pelinka ultimately pulling the strings.
If LeBron went to Rob Pelinka and was like, "Look, I want Carmelo on the roster," Carmelo would be on the roster.
I don't think so. Not with the situation that it is now. And you got to realize something too, is that Carmelo's not Hoodie Melo, right? Carmelo has declined. So maybe there's something that they don't see, or something that they see that we don't see, because Carmelo's not coming off.
No. We know Carmelo is not Hoodie Melo. He's not the same Carmelo he was in his recent stops, but. I mean, he's better than what's the guy they just signed?
Jared Dudley?
Yeah, Jared Dudley? You're telling me you take Dudley over Carmelo?
I'm not saying that at all. But again, I'm looking at it from a team aspect. Do I think that LeBron went to Jenny and said, "Hey, Jenny, let's go get Melo"? Yeah, I think so. That he does.
I don't think so.
I think he did.
I don't think so.
You don't think that he went to? No,
absolutely not.
But that's his boy.
Exactly.
You don't think that he spoke up for Melo at all?
No.
There were rumors last year that he was going to come onto the team.
Dude, if he would have spoke up for Melo, he'd be on the team.
I feel that he did, and he was met with we'll think about it.
There would at least be conversations.
But who's to say there wasn't?
I haven't heard any rumors, anything of these two talking. The two sides talking. Like, LeBron ain't looking out for Carmelo, bro. He's worried about Space Jam and winning the title, and his son making it to the NBA, being the first.
But winning the titles, it does go in hand with Melo.
Yeah, but
you also got to look at it from the aspect is that Melo's not being blackballed. He has no reason to be blackballed. Does he have an attitude problem? I believe he has an attitude problem.
So why isn't Carmelo on a roster?
There's multiple reasons. I can't tell you why he's not on every single roster, but there's things with Melo that Melo wants to be Denver Melo, and he's not.
Let me ask you something. Vince Carter just signed a contract to return, I think, for what, his 15th or 17th year?
No, he's going up there. Yeah, he's beyond.
So you're telling me if he could sign a contract, Carmelo can't get a deal? And you're saying Carmelo's not blackballed?
But who shows more leadership? Who's a better vet to play around?
Who's going to give you meaningful minutes?
Not Melo. Did he give the Rockets meaningful minutes?
Come on. Well, is he going to give you better minutes than Vince Carter at this point in his career? Yes or no?
I haven't looked at Vince Carter's numbers.
Off the top of your head. If you had to pick one.
Well, he's younger.
Pick one.
He's younger.
Flip a coin and give me who's the result.
He's younger. But you're looking at it from a player standpoint. You're not looking at it from the team standpoint. Melo doesn't want to come, and it's the same thing with Dwight Howard. Melo doesn't want to come off the bench. Melo wants to be the one to go ahead and score 20 a night.
Melo said he's fine at this point in career coming off the bench.
But he said that in Houston.
I mean,
he said that in Houston, and he didn't have that.
He has no choice, though,
and that's why he's not on a team. Because I could tell you all day that I'm ready to go ahead and go do whatever you want to go do, but if my actions aren't behind it, it's just empty words. You haven't ever told somebody that you'll do something, but then your actions don't back it up because you really ain't gonna do it.
I think we all been in that position,
and that's the position I feel Melo's in now. If Melo really would go ahead and be okay with coming off the bench or being a better team player, would he be on the team? Absolutely.
Yeah, but you can't say the man is lying when he says. I mean, you got to put it to the test. I think.
But he did in Houston.
He was. I mean, that was his first instance of it. Like, of course, when you're a player of his caliber and they come to you and they say, "Hey, for your remaining time in Houston, you got to sit on the bench," like. A lot of us is going to take it hard. You're like, man, I'm the man. Like, dude, I'm Carmelo Anthony. I have a gold medal. You know what I mean? You want me to sit on the bench behind these scrubs? Like, I'm going to have a hard time with it. You know what I mean? But Carmelo had to look himself in the mirror and realize that he's not the same player he once was.
But he came out when he first signed with Houston and told them, "Oh, I'm good with coming off the bench. I'm good with being a role player." But he was none of that.
Yeah, but if LeBron spoke up for him, it's like, and LeBron told him what it was, like, "Hey, Lakers are interested in signing you, but you got to come off the bench." Under LeBron's tutelage, he should be okay with that. I mean, that's his boy. You know what I mean? Like, LeBron's word is bond. Like, so if LeBron told him, like, "Hey, I got you a spot, but you just got to come off the bench," he should be fine with that.
I agree with you.
You shouldn't hear nothing from him. But the problem is LeBron's not speaking up for him. That's the problem.
I don't see with how LeBron is, and I'm not a big LeBron fan, but how LeBron is just as a person, I find it very hard to believe that he has not said something.
I don't not at all. I just don't. If the guy was speaking up for Carmelo, the job would have been done already. And
I don't feel that because no other team in the league has reached out to him. No other team in the league has reached out to him.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he said that his party has been in conversations with a few teams. He didn't go on the record and say who, but he says there has been some discussions. But I mean, whether that's the Lakers or not, it may be the Lakers, and I might be completely wrong.
He has been practicing in L.A. with some of the Nets players. So there are that, but the Nets
I'm
came out after and said that they weren't really interested in signing Carmelo.
All I'm saying is this. In the terms of him being blackballed, I know there's a roster. There's plenty of rosters he could play on. He could play on the Kings roster right now. There's tons of rosters where I know he can make the team. So that makes me think in my head like maybe there is some truth to him being blackballed. Well, the stuff with him and LeBron speaking up about him to join the Lakers, dude. I'm a firm believer of where there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I mean? There is no smoke. There's no Carmelo smoke in L.A.
There's no Carmelo smoke anywhere.
There's not. But if LeBron was to create that smoke in L.A., I think he would be able to sign in L.A.
Just based off of what Magic had said last year, off of Jenny not listening to the people she should have been listening to. Mm-hmm. I think that plays a major part in it. I don't think LeBron has the same power. Now, that's not a detriment or a knock at LeBron at all. It's more so the fact of based off of what Magic had said last year about who is really in Jenny's ear and who she's listening to.
And you don't think LeBron's in her ear at all?
I think LeBron, and that's what I'm telling you, is I think LeBron has went ahead and has made mention. But I think it was just greeted with okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's look at it. We'll look into it.
So you don't think LeBron has any pull like that?
I'm not saying he doesn't have.
He's the one that got AD.
I'm saying he doesn't have. No. Rich Paul was the reason AD is on the Lakers,
but
not LeBron.
Come on, Rich Paul. Who's the reason why Rich Paul's even famous?
But we're gonna go back to the beginning of LeBron's legacy. Then at that point,
LeBron made Rich Paul.
Yeah, but if Rich Paul right now were to go ahead and meet LeBron tomorrow, do you think Rich Paul is going to be the same Rich Paul that he has been for the last 14, 15 years, or is he going to be a different Rich Paul 15 years going forward meeting LeBron today?
He's going to be different.
And that's my point. Is that Rich Paul is an amazing things. Rich Paul is an architect for a lot of the things
I agree.
That's going on.
I agree.
But he's been with LeBron since the jump.
Yeah, but LeBron sparked his career.
No, you're absolutely right.
That's his boy.
But my point is that LeBron's not going to have the same impact on Rich Paul's career meeting him tomorrow, going ahead 15 years, compared to Rich Paul knowing LeBron 15 years ago.
That's not true because right now they move together. Wherever they move together. They move as one.
Yeah, but you don't think that Rich Paul has signed the players that he has based off of LeBron, even in Miami days?
Based off his relationship with LeBron.
And that's clout. What I'm saying. But his clout has been with LeBron. Rich Paul's clout has been intertwined with LeBron because they started together from the beginning.
100%.
And LeBron had a lot of pull in the league.
Yeah.
And LeBron was in his prime, and he was respected, and there's a conversation on how great he is. But Rich Paul's been with him through all that.
Yeah.
So my point now is that Rich Paul has that clout because he's been doing what he's doing, and I think Rich Paul's clout now is starting to separate from LeBron.
No, because no matter where Rich Paul goes in his career, he always has LeBron's best interest.
Oh, absolutely. They're boys.
Exactly. So you're going to tell me they didn't have no side conversations like, hey, bro, you got to get this AD. You got to get this AD deal.
No,
back.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
But do you think that if it wasn't for Rich Paul, if AD had a different agent, do you think it would have went as smoothly? Or do you think Rich Paul really was a driving force behind AD getting to LA?
I think LeBron was the driving force. I think Rich Paul does whatever LeBron says. So if LeBron was like, hey, we need this player, like we need Dame Lillard, and Dame Lillard is connected to Rich Paul, it's a beautiful
that's
picture.
That's his pit bull.
It's a beautiful picture. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right, but that's almost the same as Rich Paul being the pit bull.
Yeah. But LeBron's the master though. LeBron tells him who to go get and how to do it.
And he does it, but he's a driving force behind what's getting done.
Yeah, but he would.
But LeBron's in his ear. I agree with you 100%. But if it wasn't for Rich Paul doing things that other agents would almost be afraid to do, in the fact of stating publicly to the media, we want to trade. putting the Pelicans on notice, we want to trade. Agents don't do that. What other agents do you really see going out to the media and saying, hey, we want to trade? We're going to publicly demand a trade.
I mean, that's just because, like, he has LeBron standing behind him. So when you have that power, he's able to do whatever he wants. You know what I mean?
But that's my point.
He's built his brand to be that way. You know what I mean? But you don't bite the hand that feeds you. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm getting at. But that's what I'm saying is LeBron told Rich Paul, hey, I need AD.
Yep.
Go get AD. Yep. Bring AD over here because we're connected. You're his manager.
Yep.
His agent. If AD did not have Rich Paul as his agent, do you think that AD would have came to the Lakers as swiftly? Now, I understand that there were issues at the end of last season, right before the trade deadline. Mm-hmm. Right? The Pelicans were playing, and that happened. But do you think that it would have went ahead?
The deal still happens.
Yeah.
The deal still happens. Regardless if he's his agent or not, the deal still happens. Because that's what LeBron wanted. Like, you can't tell me that when LeBron was in Miami, Rich Paul was Chris Bosh's agent, or Dwayne Wade's agent.
But they were also coming out of contract. They were coming up on free agency, so Chris Bosh could go do whatever he wanted to go do.
True.
AD still had another 2 years. So AD, they could have went ahead and put the clamps on AD and said, no, you're not going anywhere.
Okay, look at Kevin Love. He wanted Kevin Love. Kevin Love wasn't out of contract. They traded for Kevin Love. You know what I mean? So,
but I think weren't the Timberwolves shopping him around though too?
I'm not too sure. They may have been at the time. I'm not too sure.
I thought I heard rumors at the time.
That was the best basketball he played in his career was in Minnesota.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if they was, I never heard of him being disgruntled in Minnesota. But
LeBron put the opportunity out there. But then again, this is LeBron back in Cleveland days. What, 4 years ago? About 4 years ago,
right,
I'd say.
Right.
He had a lot more clout, especially with the Cavs.
Yeah, he had more pull there. I mean, it's easier to have more pull in Cleveland because it's Cleveland. It's not LA's like the Mecca, one of the Meccas of basketball. So it's harder to have more pull with the Lakers. But LeBron, his name alone stands toe to toe with Los Angeles Lakers. You know what I mean? So when you bring in a player of his caliber, and he comes and talks to you, you're not going to operate on deaf ears. Jenny Bush is not going to ignore LeBron making a suggestion, saying, that's I highly doubt that's happening.
I don't see LeBron as the man that he is outside of just being a basketball player, leaving Melo out in the cold.
As of now, Carmelo's out in the cold. And
but everybody.
Yeah, but
so there has to be other issues, whether it's not wanting to come off the bench, not being a good team player, and him wanting to go ahead and be that dominant ball force behind it.
Okay, I understand that. Yeah, it's all teams in the NBA, but it cuts deeper with the Lakers because that's his boy. Right or am I wrong? It cuts deeper.
But I firmly don't believe that LeBron did not mention something to the Lakers.
We may never know, but
also the Lakers are also trying to hold out a spot for Iggy right now. So that could be it too. Are you going to take Iggy, or are you going to go ahead and take Melo?
Or are you going to take Melo, or are you going to take what's the guy they just signed? What's his name?
Jared Dudley. So
I rest my case.
But Jared Dudley has a good defensive presence, though. Is he a good all-around scorer, or is he going to go ahead and do what you need him to do scoring-wise? No, they have scorers on the team.
I rest my case. Jared Dudley over Carmelo, I rest my case.
No, yeah, absolutely. But my whole point is that Jared Dudley is going to bring that defensive presence. We don't need scorers right now at that position. Yes or no?
Looking at the roster,
we needed more of a defensive presence.
You're going to need
and we needed shooters too.
You're going to need some type of scoring, more scoring. You have LeBron, you have AD. Who else is going to score for you? You have Kuzma. Avery Bradley's not that much of a scorer. Who's going to be scoring like that?
But who is Melo going to be scoring like that?
I mean, he could give you something. If it's 10 to 15 points,
Yeah,
that's not bad.
10 or 12.
I mean, take it.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't think Melo's being blackballed. I think it's probably something that's not really talked about. I think a lot of execs are looking at it as he doesn't want to come off the bench and just everything that I've already highlighted.
Now, in other LeBron news, NBA legend Scottie Pippen has made comments about the Clippers running LA and LeBron not being able to carry his team and close. Anthony, does Scottie Pippen have valid points?
Absolutely. That man LeBron is on his 17th season. He's not able. He's putting up numbers, but he's not going to be able to go ahead and carry that team on his back. Not in the West. Not with the way that they're stacked. The Clippers are emerging as a favorite now. I mean, you would be crazy to think otherwise because now they have Kawhi. They have their defense is just insane. PG-13. He stepped up his game from recent times in the past. But LeBron, if anybody's ever worked retail, LeBron has that retail unionized seniority. He's there to open for you, but he's not there to close. You may catch him closing, but he's not going to be able to carry this team on his back like he has in the past. No.
I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit, and I mean I'm not the biggest LeBron fan in the world, but I'm going to take the stance where I think that LeBron this year is going to get back to what we're used to seeing. I think he's going to be the LeBron that we've seen in Cleveland carry the Cavs pretty much to that championship run and through the whole playoffs. I honestly believe he has no choice. I mean, I think LeBron knows that he has only a few amount of good years left. You know what I mean? So his legacy's on the line. He wasted a lot of years where, I mean, look, he was in the East and he went to the finals, 8 years in a row, 9 years in a row? And he only, 3 championships? You know what I mean? At this point, his legacy's on the line. So it's all or nothing for LeBron at this point. This is going to be the stiffest challenge for him that I've ever seen in front of him.
Absolutely.
You know, when he went up against those Golden State teams, you know, I've never seen a superstar push to the max like that. Like, you've seen this guy really go through it, you know, and I mean, I love to hate LeBron, you know what I mean? But I love to see superstars go through those moments, you know what I mean? And he was pushed to the max to get his team over the hump, and I mean, I gotta take my hat off to him. Like I said, I love to hate the guy, but you know, I'm gonna give him credit where credit's due. Like, he got over the hump. He beat Goliath. He was David in Cleveland. But this task that's ahead of him now, I mean, the West is stacked. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you're 6 teams deep. You're like 6 teams deep that have a legit shot of making to the Western Conference Finals. You know what I mean? And then you got out of those 6 teams, you got teams that are still competitive, that are still gonna bring it. And then once you make it out of the West, you know, you got to deal with Philly, or you got to deal with Greek Freak, or you know what I mean. Like, when KD comes back, you got to deal with KD and your former teammate Kyrie. So, I think the challenge is stiff, but I think he has his best running mate ever. You know, AD, I don't think he gets enough credit. You know, AD is a monster, man.
Yeah, no, I think they'll lean more on, I feel, Kuzma and AD to go ahead and close it out. I don't think he's going to carry the team like he has before. He's going to depend on those guys more.
I think he will. But when you AD, man, I believe AD will have an MVP type season this year. I believe AD will win MVP of the NBA this year. I'm putting it on record right now. I think he will be the NBA MVP. So I think he has AD to help him get through the season, and I think that's going to take a lot of pressure off of him. I know in Cleveland, I mean, he had Love, and Love was, I mean, at best he was a roller coaster. You know, like, you don't know what you're getting from Love night to night. Kyrie was his best running mate, but I mean, Kyrie was going through his own issues with injuries and everything. So, if AD stays healthy, I can't say they'll win the West because it's so daunting, man. Like, but I do think you're going to get a heroic performance from LeBron this year. Those Clipper LA battles are going to be something to watch. Like, I'm me for one. I don't really get too excited about NBA season because I'm football through and through, and it's football season, college football season. But I'm excited, dude. I'm excited to see LeBron versus the Clippers. So I think it's gonna be special, and I think, like I said, LeBron's gonna bring it, Kawhi's gonna bring it. But if you had to ask me, like, is he up for the challenge and is he gonna lead the squad this year? I think he's gonna do it.
Right, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for watching. Feel free to check us out on Instagram and Twitter, Real at the Office, and also check out the channel Red Pill Station. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Tell us how we're doing. And thank you again for tuning in to At the Office.
Peace.
Later.